Welcome to the Four Wards Podcast. Hey, what's up? It's Eric Bra, voice of Draven, Jerks, and Vel'Koz. And you're listening to the Four Wards Podcast, here to help you move forward in League.
Everybody, this is the Four Wards Podcast, and I am haberdashing your lovely host here for tonight. Sorry we weren't around last week. Some schedules got in the way, and at the end of the day, we decided we'd rather do an episode this week that was twice as good as a half-assed episode last week. So here we are, and with me this week, as always, is Badger. Quit Badger.
Hi. Hey, how's it going? Hello, everybody.
Senpai.
Oh gosh, not again,
What
please.
happened to
No,
your
we
arm?
already got
No.
past our anime
You didn't. No.
phase.
It's okay. You did
No,
maybe.
I still have a Star Guardian login screen.
Yeah.
So
So we didn't. By the way, what happened to your arm?
Oh, so I was moving a desk, and my bed kind of got in the way, and I did one of those things where I like crushed it really well, and now it kind of hurts. And I played George in a best of 2 in Vantage on Sunday, and now he has a slight advantage for his duo laners, maybe. Depends on how up to capacity I am playing on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So
On the plus,
Yeah, it really sucks how beds sometimes just move on their own and get in the way of what you were trying to do.
right.
not to mention those sneaky fucking desks.
yeah, dude,
Not
that's
believe.
like all it comes down to is just don't let your furniture sneak up on you.
I was just hanging out, and then I woke up hours later, passed out on my desk.
Or do let them, and then you'll have an excuse for when you lose.
Also,
No,
good
no
point.
scrub mentality.
Oh no,
lose
dude,
'cause
we're
I'm
not gonna lose. We're gonna win no matter what,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like you're just like high now.
dude.
Just like
Except
you're-
only one of my wrists is bad, not both of them. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's
I-
better or worse.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be streamed from both sides. So if you all are interested in, that's going to be Sunday. So
if you wanna
Keep in
hear
touch.
the trash talk
Yeah.
between George and I,
Speaking of George, how you doing, buddy?
yeah, George.
now I have Ethernet, so life is 10 times better.
That's so nice to hear. It'll be so nice to have your call not drop out in the middle. And we just have
Yeah.
to keep pretending that everything's okay.
Your video quality is now good enough to realize how truly young you are.
Yeah. And
Welcome
I
to the
can-
club, man.
I can see the Timo right behind you now.
This guy, just in time for the perfect
Hold on a
holiday we're
second.
going in.
Okay, is he getting his Timo hat?
I bet he is.
All right, give me a
Yeah,
second now.
Wait, Badger, where'd you go? You stopped moving and disappeared.
Oh no.
Surprise! I'm here, and while haberdashing goes away for a second,
But
I will gladly
one, two-
introduce the last one of the show, Mr. Peter Thallium Chrissy. How are you doing this week?
X-nay on the full name, A. I'm good. I'm pretty pumped. Let's see. I played a best of 3 with the Benson's team, which had Four Wards alumni Froz and correspondent Projector. We managed to win 2-0, though those were very intense, competitive games.
Nice.
And on Saturday, I'm going to semis with Tamarkin and some other people, but I'm going to be in New
So
York.
you're not missing the World
Nice.
Championship caliber final. You're watching Samsung 3-0.
I drew a
HCK.
bad bracket, but
Hey,
I didn't have
Hey, you never
that
know.
much insight when I bought the
Hey,
ticket.
it's okay, man. It's all right. Just get forgiven to hold a sign up that says Badger is free, and I will be happy.
I'll see if I can do that. That sounds fun.
I mean, if nothing else, you just write memes on a sign and you'll be fine. That's what
I
everyone
think-
And you
else
still
does.
get New York.
Haber's
Right.
Timo hat blocks his Skype audio.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Just like move the microphone.
Yeah,
There you
'cause
go.
There we
still-
go.
It's still picking up this microphone. I forgot to switch it back to my other microphone.
You got
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, where the fuck is your Timo swag, Thallium?
I am not an evil human being.
You gotta hate yourself enough to at least get the Timo hat.
I hate myself enough to
Shout out to
record a
Froz,
podcast
by
with
the
you
way.
and keep playing League of Legends.
This fucking
Our
like
a
going
resident
ham.
Timo one trick.
Yeah.
No, it was Timo and Twisted Fate. Although he played a pretty vicious Lux, he somehow managed to not die. He didn't win the game, but he didn't die the entire game one.
He does that
That's
actually a
great.
lot.
Yep.
Oh, he's got a 15 stack Mage Eyes. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Speaking, did we already talk pretty much all about the Timoing already?
Not
no.
really.
No, we actually didn't really delve into it at all. We just kind of pointed out his Timo, and then we both grabbed our hats.
Right.
So
Do we feel comfortable talking about the Timoing?
Sounds kind of dangerous. I don't
does.
actually
like
does.
if you say a name 3
there's
times,
not
I'll
a
probably
whole
like
lot to it.
Like
come up
the
and kill me.
Shining or the Happening?
It's the
There's
Timo.
a couple of definitely not Halloween skins. There's a Timoing shop, and then there's the Timoing minigame, which I played for you, dear listener. It involved me clicking the same spot 500 times, and then I got an icon out of it.
But it's a pretty sweet
Boom.
icon.
Yeah. And it's not
I'm
just
probably never
clicking in
use
the
it.
same spot 500 times. It's sacrificing 500 minions into a boiling
By
cauldron.
clicking on a circle.
Right, but you have to watch 500 minions joyfully jump to their death into a
To be
vat
fair,
of you just
They do that anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
True. I don't think they like.
It's like watching an EUS LCS game when someone gets 500 and 600 and 700 farm. but-
because Europe can't finish games before 55 minutes, but it's okay.
God.
Hey, oh, you got a good point.
Lucian top. All right, let's move on.
We're not.
Wrong.
That's-
Now that
we
that's out of the
close
way.
show. Jesus. Hey, some news for this week. Extra Life. We're going to be doing that again as a network. So November 5th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch us. We're going to be doing tournaments, league games, Overwatch, a lot of other things. I know we're trying to think of different incentives, different things to do. If you remember last year, we had like games where you could donate and you could make a rule to that game. Like everyone has to rush Frozen Mallet, or everyone has to go the Horse Doctor build, where you have tier
It's easy rot, wasn't it?
Zerat portal, and just it's
It was
madness.
great.
It's gonna
I
be
don't know if
great.
it was Extra Life or the MS fundraiser for Claude.
Oh yeah, that one.
I
too.
do remember like Baron of Nashor on Twitter donated money, and everyone had to go to the pit and like suicide
Oh,
after
Yeah.
dancing.
I remember that.
It was actually kind of it took a long time. I felt bad watching them. It was funny, but it was also awful.
And like I know Doom's running the thing, and like I'll be doing some of it myself, I think. So like you'll know people there, even if you don't watch any of the other casts, which you should.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Really should.
Extra Life, it's gonna be great. If you want to find out more about it or start donating already, you can go to bit.ly/tforcelife to check up on that. And yeah, tune in November 5th, starting at 8 a.m. It's going 24 hours. So if you can't get on right away, you can find some time to check it out. Last thing, actually. I talked a little bit before that we're going to start doing video series. The first one is finally done. We're putting the last touches on it, and it's going to be uploaded very soon. So it's going to be a series starting with lessons from the 4 wards, going back through our old episodes, condensing them down into short videos. Sith Lord Lemeli is heading that project along with Dune Spikeinator, and the first one going up later this week is going to be about warding. So it's one thing that we get on the show and talk about it, but it's a whole lot easier to see it in a video. So be sure to be subscribed to our YouTube channel to check that out, along with everything else that we get uploaded to there. And that's that.
It occurs to me that there should be a whole swath of these videos coming up with the preseason stuff. We mentioned practice mode a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like setting up what you want in practice mode to make a video seems like it's going to be super easy.
So much
I like
easier
it.
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of that, let's talk. We weren't here last week, but we still
Content
wanna
be
talk.
dropping.
Right. All the
Reddit.
preseason stuff is kind of coming out now. So, 5 big topics, of which we've already talked about 2 in previous episodes. So we're going to try to go through some of the other ones this week. So, like we mentioned, the first one we're going to talk about is practice tools or Sandbox. Another Riot meme dead and gone to the wayside already.
Playing the tiny violin.
Right.
Yeah,
For
make
all
sure
the
you
Riot
have.
memes that got killed.
It's almost depressing.
It actually really is. Being someone who's played for so long and like hearing all the QQ from like Reddit and the community itself of just like, hey, can we get this? No. Can we please, sir, can I have another one? No. Sorry.
I'd like to
And then
think
there's
that we finally wore Riot down enough. They never had any intention of doing the stuff, but they just wanted to stop all the bitching so much.
we had to instead of sacrifice minions in a cauldron, we had to sacrifice Monte Cristo from Professional League of Legends.
Is that how that worked?
Nah. It was the catalyst for started. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, correlation
when you
is
think
always
about it,
causation, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He called Riot out. Riot's like, dang, all right, throw everything we got at them. We got to get everybody back on board and then here we are. But they added these like weird plant things and all that other stuff. And
Yeah. Well, let's get around here. Talk a few more things about the sandbox mode first. Here.
Mm-hmm.
So things, practice tool, you're going to be able to have infinite gold. You can reset all of your cooldowns. You can lock your level, freeze minion spawns. So all the cool things you see them do in like the highlight videos and the champion spotlight videos, you'll be able to actually do in a game.
Yep. Also, like, this is going to be good for things like if you want to try out jungle clears.
Mm-hmm.
This way, you don't have literally one chance.
Yeah, you can keep going back through like level 1 clears, just so you can try different routes out in the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. Like, oh yeah, the fact that you can reset all of your cooldowns, so you can do like practice all the flashes over all the different walls.
And with the assassin update coming out, all their combos and shit.
Right, that too.
oh gosh,
Talon parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah, so it's a prototype right now. It probably won't come out directly with the preseason, but it'll be like shortly on the horizon.
probably
Nice.
with regular
I
season.
think replays are on the PBE. I don't know if practice mode. is yet.
Replays are on the PBE. Practice
mode, I
is
don't
not.
think. Yeah.
New client beta is still a ways, like,
Is it-
it's
They're
soon.
op- They're
but it's
going
not the
open
beginning.
here soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did they actually
Yeah.
finally? They're actually calling it beta.
They're
now?
going from the alpha to beta now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the beta is going to be sometime at the beginning of preseason. Haven't released exactly when.
Right.
Which sounds like they're trying to roll it out either with the new season or
Really?
a little bit down the line from there.
Yeah.
Preseason's
Mhm.
like a month long though, which
Right.
is the other big thing
Yeah.
that came out. The season starts December 7th.
Oh, that's
December
early.
6th. It's just a month after.
I thought that was the
It's-
preseason.
Wow.
Wow. Shit.
No,
No,
November
ranked starts-
7th.
December.
November,
Holy shit.
I think it's 7th. The
November
weekend,
7th is the season when
the
it
weekend,
ends.
the week after Extra Life. That Tuesday is when the season ends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then it rolls
But-
around for a month. They do all the preseason stuff. They change the game entirely, and then 1 month later, they're like, "All right, kids, go have fun now. Be
Yeah.
safe."
Normally they take 10 weeks to do this, and this year they're doing it in 4.
Yeah. Like, in the past, it's been like the last week of January at the
Yeah.
earliest.
Yeah,
Now it's
which
like
is weird because they're calling instead of calling it like season 6 or season a number to it, they're calling it the 2017 season
Well,
now.
it's been that way since the 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Season 4.
Yeah, it was the 2014 season.
Yeah, but it's like the first time I've actually heard them officially call it the 20 whatever
If you
season.
no, if
2017
you
season.
watched any like LCS, they never say like, "Hey, this is season 5," or "This has been season 4," or "season 6." It's always this is the here with the 2016 season.
Well, like that was the LCS. Like it was the 2016 LCS. I think they still called it the Soda Cube.
They called
like,
it season 6.
7.
They still called it
they
the numbers,
like
season numbers.
Riot didn't, but like everyone else will still call
Oh,
it that.
yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like officially like,
Yeah.
ta-da! We're starting 2017 season in 2016.
Yeah.
It's just so
Yeah.
fast.
Okay, so besides that, the client, I think like the biggest thing with the client people are hoping for, since it's going to Adobe Air based
Nah,
client.
it
No,
is
going away
off.
from
Off.
Oh,
it's going
that's
away
right.
from it,
My bad.
which is about time.
Yeah,
We do not need another Adobe Air.
yeah. No, it's what HTML5.
I think so. I think that's what
Something
it
like
is.
that.
You understand you don't like the porta potty, so we've decided to remove it and give you this bucket.
But
Going in the wrong direction there. But
yeah, big thing is.
Well,
like,
you
it's
know,
like this
the
week-
Riot store actually runs through Internet Explorer.
Mhm.
What the fuck?
Yeah, on the Windows client. Yeah.
Yeah, on Windows client, the store runs through IE. So
Yeah. If
is
you-
that why it
like,
was
it's
breaking
not-
Plays TV a while back?
yes,
It's
Kind of.
not too surprising. Like you could tell me that the search function is through Alta Vista, and I would believe it.
Yeah, and honestly, the biggest thing about the client isn't the visuals itself. It's that they're able to add the stuff like replays
Mhm.
into it.
And it
which they're
should-
taking away item sets, which I know a lot of
Well,
people are.
I
A few
think,
people
like,
are
it's
actually
just-
upset with it.
I
Yeah.
don't know if like they said they're actually taking it away. It's just a feature that's not on the client right now.
Well, it's something they said they're not looking forward to supporting in the near future,
Mhm.
but they did say any third-party APIs will still be able to interact with it. So you won't be able to directly do it from the client, but there's a few like
like,
the Summon
LSI.
Replays 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That
can
do it for you?
through- Okay.
So they'll still be able to work.
Yeah.
I would say probably the biggest thing, like, is as we move into preseason for people who are less familiar with ranked, is okay. Your rewards are locked when the season ends at November 7th, but they're not turning off the queue. The ranked queue is still open, and you can still, mess with your MMR leading up into the preseason. And you'll still have to do placements when the new season opens, but you can adjust your MMR by either winning a lot or losing a lot.
Yep.
Buyer beware. I will probably, my MMR is probably in the dumpster right now. I'm still just hanging on to my gold 5-0 LP, trying not to get demoted by not playing. But I'll probably tank it in the preseason by trying to learn jungle or something weird like that.
And if you are going to go out on a limb in ranked, this is your time to do it.
Yeah,
It
Like,
really
it-
is.
It
it's
affects
the
your
Wild
MMR,
West.
but you ain't getting rewards from that shit, so may as well go out as far as you can. Have
The
fun.
only consequence is maybe you might tank your MMR so far down that it might take a little while to get you back to where your goal was, where you left off when the season ended. But I mean, you're gonna have apparently 11 months this time, so
That's a really long time.
might as well.
Which, if you
just
hit your
go
goal
for it.
really early on, good
set a
luck
new one.
keeping it for well, there's that too. Masters or bust.
Mhm.
And if you've ever been
I
one of those
expect great
people to
things from you, Badger.
complain,
Good luck with that, dude. It's not gonna happen.
yeah, and if you've ever been one of those people to complain about League being a stale game, well, you are in for a roller coaster.
Oh, you are. It's
Things
gonna
are
be a
going to be
cruel mistress this season.
broken in the first week, patched out the second, broken in the week after that.
Yeah.
Round and round the merry-go-round we go.
All right.
All right.
So
So-
2 more things here. I want to go to the assassin update quick.
Quick, he says.
Well, obviously we're not going to have time to go through everyone, so I want everyone to kind of collectively pick one of the 4 big ones, and we'll kind of just go through them here. So
I think
Even though I
Talon's
like
gonna be
her-
broken as fuck.
Even though I like her, I'm going to throw Katarina out because she's still mostly the same.
Okay, so Talon,
Yeah.
Rengar, or LeBlanc.
It seemed like
Le-
LeBlanc was mostly the same too.
Yeah.
Her
Like,
ult creates some
LeBlanc
weird
LeBlanc
stuff.
combo. They said there's like 25 different combos you can do with LeBlanc now.
Would you do
Instead
them,
of, like,
though?
Is that a challenge, my friend?
And like, would you actually like end up using?
Probably not. There's gonna be like a set like 3
Mhm.
that you'll have like situationally. So,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
really,
Like
Talon's gonna be.
Talon can jump over walls.
Ooh.
He might be a
Yeah.
jungler now.
Jump over walls in a 2-second cooldown is the other part.
But like, it's a 2-second cooldown.
Not the same
for
wall.
different
Right, not the
walls.
same wall.
Yeah.
It didn't say he's got to think jump over a wall, but he can't jump over the same wall near
It
to
says,
each
like,
other.
A long cooldown.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's like a red
the
box
site
that
is
shows
very
up.
short on numbers,
Yeah.
which is kind of infuriating.
Yeah, and that's balance. Like they're figuring shit out.
Yeah,
Isn't his Q a gap closer now?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but one of his always was a gap closer.
yeah. His
So
E
that's
was a
not-
gap closer.
Yeah,
and
his
now
E-
it's his Q.
Yeah,
Now his Q
E
does
is a
damage
gap
and
closer.
closes the gap.
Oh,
And if you're
gee.
in melee range, it crits
Yep.
instead of gap closes.
Yeah.
Rito, please. I don't want to play AD carry anymore.
It's just like,
Did you watch the video of Rengar
Um,
and how long he was invisible?
Oh yeah,
No.
Talon's ult can't be revealed by pink wards because it's invisible, not camouflage.
okay.
I hate this game now. I swear.
What bothered me about that is, again, there's no numbers, but they're like, let's take away Rengar's thing where he just jumps out of the shadows and murders you, and there's no counterplay, by giving him a stealth that's much longer.
Yeah, but it reveals him when he's close to you. At least there's that.
It
Yeah,
always
it's got like
gave me,
instead of having
like
the
a-
question, like the exclamation point that you could barely see.
It's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious now that you're about to get dumped on by this
And the other
cat.
thing is, instead of getting vision within everybody in range, it only gives vision of the closest enemy champion.
Mm,
So that removes a lot of free, quote unquote, vision.
I guess he can't pick his target as easily. But again, I'm not a Rengar main. Look for,
Well,
I think
Something called Bow.
Bao Bao is a Rengar main. He's what, Diamond or Masters or Challenger?
He's
I think.
mid diamond.
He's going to be on the proper soon. So if you want Rengar talk, go there.
There's a lot of changes to Rengar. I think one of the more interesting ones is that they're changing him so instead of 5 ferocity, he has 4.
Yep. That
But it
being
doesn't
said, they fall
stack
off
over
out of
time. It
yeah.
doesn't
When you get out
hold
of combat, they
stacks.
fall off.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, like when you're going into the combos,
Mhm.
like the old Rengar combo, you can get in at least 2
Yep.
enhanced abilities. So
Yeah.
Oh, there's the crowd control reduction part of his
True.
W.
It's-
So
Yeah.
there's so
and
much to look at here.
It's gonna be
Like-
silly.
Intense.
take a look at all this. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think
way
the
too
Z
much for a
changes
single
are interesting
podcast.
too.
Maybe
The
it'll-
minor
Way too
Z
much to
changes.
just digest before this podcast. I've been trying to read it over the last 2 weeks. I'm like, I still don't know what's going on.
And I'm sure
Most,
Proper is going to have a huge conversation over all the in-depth, like,
Most
what
likely.
is this
They're
going to
going to
mean?
spend the entire preseason just going over the changes.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's enough time to go over all the changes.
We can kind of like over the next, I don't know, like maybe once a week for a while, we go over some of the changes for one champion and like talk about how it's going to change, what's going to be different. How
Does
to work
anyone
through
else
it.
have a PPE account?
I do.
I do.
But I don't have the client installed.
It
Me
doesn't
either.
take long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off show, we'll set aside a time to try to get together.
Okay. Okay, so now
Ooh, the most important change.
the
Mhm.
most just
He's still unplayable.
the
I'm
most
telling you.
fucky change. What?
He's still unplayable. They
Ooh,
didn't.
what?
They're
Okay,
Twitch.
so
You're
so
on.
background.
No, we didn't even talk about the gameplay change for preseason.
Oh, you're right. The plants.
yeah.
Oh.
We
that-
talked about plants earlier.
plants. Okay,
that-
we'll do plants
that
first,
bit
and then
of
I'll
Yeah.
fuckery.
rant about Twitch.
Okay, so we talked. Did we talk? No, we didn't. Did we? I don't know anymore.
We mentioned it, but there wasn't
Plants.
much information.
We mentioned
out.
it, but we actually didn't
No, I
say
think this
anything.
came out like last
Oh,
Wednesday,
maybe-
and
yeah, I
we missed
can't
last
remember.
No, you're right. We did mention the fact that there are going to be plants in the jungle. We had no idea what the fuck they
Yeah.
were. And now
Okay.
looking at them, I still have no idea what the fuck is going on.
it's just it's more RNG added to the game. Like,
Yeah.
if they could, like, one of the things I wish they would do is, and a lot of people have been saying this for a while now, is tell us which dragons are going to be in what order.
Mhm.
Like, between dragons and plants, like,
So
that's a lot of jungle
Well,
RNG.
So plants
I know
do
that-
show up on minimap, which does help.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think they do while they're spawning, but if you get vision of them, like when they're spawning, you can see their growth through the fog of war.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I
So
don't even know what you do. Well, we should probably mention. Okay, so there's 3 main plans. There's Blast Cone, which knocks people away when you kill it. There's Honey Fruit, which drops healing stuff when you kill it. And then there's Scryer's Bloom, which releases pollen across the map that reveals units and wards when you kill it. And Riot keeps trying to introduce things that like create strategic decisions. That was their idea behind the dragons. Okay, we got these 4 dragons. They do different things. You're going to want them differently depending on
Right.
your team and your strategy. But I feel like in execution, at least in my low gold, high silver games, it's more like, oh, we have an opportunity to take dragon. We don't really care which one it is. We're just going to take it
Mhm.
Yeah.
and move on with our lives.
So-
And I think these plants are going to be the same thing. Like, how do you strategically
Well-
set up around a blast cone?
So it's interesting because all of these things do have a little bit of counterplay in that, like, for example, the healing ones actually slow you when you pick up the healing mines. So it's not like they're free. You do have to make a choice. Say you're running away from somebody trying to get healing shit. Like,
Uh-huh.
if you pick it up, then they'll be able to catch you.
Just why?
Like,
all this stuff just I
Riot.
it feels like the more they add to the game, the less interesting it feels to watch.
but
Like the
but
dragons was one thing, but like it like stuff like this, like I swear you're just gonna wake up one day watching League of Legends and they're gonna say, oh, they took down the Rift Herald. It's multi-ball time. There's
But
some
guess what?
weird fucking shit.
they did take something else out in exchange for it.
Okay.
Base lasers are no longer lasers. Like, you know how they're the really fast lasers?
Yeah.
Fountain?
They're reverted temporarily, just to see if it works better.
Okay.
You mean on
Um,
Fountain or
No, the
No, the inhibitors.
in turrets? I always thought that change was really stupid.
Yeah.
Yep, they're just
Huh.
replacing one really off the wall thing with another.
Okay.
That was an A+ Futurama reference, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Got it.
Ah, man.
Oh, I didn't.
Can't let it go.
I know. I'm gonna have to go back and listen just so I can catch that.
The whole multi-ball.
Mhm.
ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I remember what you're talking about.
Slurm. Slurm.
Okay. So besides that, there's the changes to the jungle camps, which
Of course.
seem like it fucks over junglers more than anything.
Congratulations, junglers. Have fun
Yeah.
in season 7.
Okay, so big changes.
Again.
Blue Sentinel and Red Brambleback. They're just there now. There's no little guys with them.
They lost
I
their
think
friends.
that's kind of a buff to bad junglers who get counter jungled by good junglers, because they can't just leave up the little one and then you show up and they're like, oh, there's just a little guy here.
That's
And
the
now I
sole
have to
reason they
wait
did it.
5 minutes.
No, people really didn't do that often because of the way they started splitting EXP between that camp. You took.
I don't
either
think they
the
did
whole
that
thing.
often either. But
The other thing this does is this actually does nerf AoE junglers a little bit.
Except for
Yeah.
fucking Raptors.
God,
Well,
Raptors.
yes, because you're gonna pick an AoE jungler just because of Raptors.
Just because of Raptors.
Yeah. What if like Raptors give you like a whole fucking level now?
okay, can I read the surrender at 20 thing on Krug? Because I'm not sure anyone mentioned it yet.
No,
Yeah,
we
it's
haven't.
just-
Not yet.
And it explodes into multiple Krugs.
Quote, large and normal Krug now split into
See?
more Krugs on death.
Multi-ball.
Large Krug turns
Multi-ball!
into 2 normal Krugs. Normal Krug splits into 2 mini Krugs. Mini Krugs do not split. They die to a single auto attack.
God.
Why?
Total camp reward increased about 150%. Large Krugs are resistant to basic attacks, but much slower than other camps. Spawn 15 seconds later than other. Why are they spawning later?
Why? I mean, because Krug's bottom lane shit.
'Cause
Oh,
Krug's bottom
Wait,
lane.
wait, wait. Krugs
what about
and
Gromp?
Gromp
Is it,
both spawn later.
just because of the
Oh, so you
bottom
can't
lane
start
shit.
Gromp now.
Because of
Great.
You gotta
bottom.
start above
Multi-ball.
or Merkwolves or Raptors. You can't start Krugs or Gromp.
Or the buff itself,
Why?
Ugh.
That's
It's-
actually
no, because
freaking terrible for junglers now because
Jesus.
sorry, you
Oh,
don't get
yeah, you're
your
right.
you don't get your stun or
Hey.
you don't get your Thornmail.
But
Poison
I
pass.
thought they were removing the buffs, the smite buffs.
They are.
Yeah,
they
so
are?
you wouldn't get those anyway.
Okay, well
you
then
just
fuck
get a
it then.
heal from everything now. So completely useless for half of junglers.
Welcome to
I
the new
don't-
jungle. Same as the old jungle, which means you have to fucking learn it every 6 months.
Yeah, it's just,
Reasons I stopped playing
like
it.
I was more excited when they had like the different camps and shit because like it was strategic. You could pick out which ones are gonna work best, and yeah, it did develop into certain ones are just better, given certain situations. Like if you're tanky, you're always going to get Gromp,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
but
You're always going to smite Raptors to clear because vision is amazing.
that too, definitely.
Yep.
It just seems so fucky.
I'm
Sounds
going to stay
about right.
mid. I'm going to stay mid. I take it back. I'm not learning jungle. I'm going to play my Zyra and my Victor, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll mix it up and learn LeBlanc because apparently she's brand new.
Plays
again.
that.
Now you'll just get more EXP because
God.
you get all the EXP from Blue Buff now, along with just a shit ton of Raptors. There's 6
Yeah.
Raptors now.
I think that's just to distaste mid laners away from stealing
But
chickens
like,
from.
all of
You
the
just
mid laners
kick
have
it over the
AoE.
wall.
Like,
True, but now what
Yeah,
if you
who
only
gives a
kill
fuck?
like 3 of the 5 tiny raptors?
Then you
like
only
how
kill
bad are
3
you
of the
gonna feel?
5.
they're not going to add more raptors and make them stronger at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
they'd be weaker and easier to take with AoE.
it just buffs your CS numbers still.
Oh gosh.
You clear Raptors. That's a whole fucking wave. That's so.
Can we just like
Move on.
not talk about this anymore? I think
Yeah.
I'm done with just talking about
I
jungle.
don't know.
We'll talk
yeah.
about it a lot over the next.
Oh yeah, we'll
6
cover it
weeks.
later
I hope
when we get more numbers and stuff. But
I hope to freaks jungling. God, I don't know that something like when this starts going out, it looks better than it sounds. Cause oh boy,
it's gonna be an interesting set of patch notes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
Have fun, Proper.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
You're the best.
Okay, so I'll give you guys a
Oh.
choice here: Trinity Tip, Bronze Logic, or Today I Learned.
Well, before that, I just wanted to add in other big thing. Aegis is gone, so no
Yeah.
AoE MR.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh, and we hinted at it earlier, but Riot finally decided to change Rat-a-tat-tat, which
Season
nobody
7
really actually
is
called
all
it that.
like, hey, we
to-
made a whole lot of mistakes. Let's try to fix them.
Yeah.
A,
Is-
solo queue.
Well,
B,
they fixed
changing-
half of Twitch. It's back to spray and pray,
That's the good
Yes.
thing.
but
How would they change that? It's such a great
it's
name.
not expunge. It's not
Expunge.
expunge. Bring it back. Contaminate? The hell is that?
What does contaminate even mean? Like,
All right.
anyway.
They're already contaminated. Like, why would you further contaminate them when they're already there? You just gotta like
know.
expunge them.
I don't know.
Rito,
Oh.
please.
All right, so tell us about our choices. What's in the doors?
All right, so like I said, today I learned Bronze Logic, or Trinket Tip.
Well, 2 of those are mine.
Okay, so
None
you're
of those are
biased.
mine.
Yeah.
One of those is mine. So Badger.
None of those are
pick one.
mine. Oh God. I can't even remember whose is who.
We're still gonna
Wait,
do all
good-
three,
I know which
so
one.
Come on.
You know what? Let's just go in order on the dock. Let's go
All
Trinket
right.
Tip and then today I
All
learned
right.
and then Bronze Logic.
Okay, yeah. So this was mine, and it's kind of good we're doing this now because with the preseason rank queue changes, it won't happen anymore. But basically, when you're duo queuing, you can guarantee that one of the two of you get your main role. And the way you do this is by stacking your role selection. So let's say one of you is a mid laner and a top laner. like mid first, top second.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say the other is a top laner and a jungler. What you actually do is have one of the two of you queue up for their main role and the other person's secondary. Then the second person queues up for their main role and then the other person's primary.
Mm-hmm.
That way you're guaranteed for one of you to always get your primary on one of the two of you. And you can just trade it away to the others.
There you go.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
Nice.
All right, moving on. Today I learned. Who was that? Was that Talon?
That was me.
You. Okay.
I was just playing a game the other day. I was Orianna mid against a Talon, and the support Lulu came to gank me. And because there's so many things in this game, you're always learning. Lulu came in, she cast Help Picks, or E, on Talon, and then Talon ulted. But I could still see him, which was surprising to me. I was like, wait, did someone drop a pink word? And I was asking the jungler I was in comms, did you smite raptors? Why can I still see this ulted Talon? He should be invisible. I don't understand. And I went back and I checked the Blaze TV. I'm like, yep, he's 100% visible this entire time. I don't get it. And I went back and I finally, which the strangest thing about this, I used to play a lot of, a mid lane Lulu, and I didn't know this, that Help Picks will grant True Sight on a champion.
You poor soul.
Yeah, because I'm bad.
See,
I was like, oh,
yeah.
I did not know that. Today I learned. And we got the kill on Talon. I died also.
Oh, that trade worth, right?
Honestly, I'm more impressed that you had a Lulu and a Talon in the same game.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Well, one of those can be explained by the Star Guardian skin, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Forgot about
He was
that.
playing Star Guardian.
Oh, wow.
What?
Huh. I don't know that.
Blasphemy.
I remember this because back when Lulu first came out, it was either bugged or an unintentional thing where her Help Picks not only revealed enemy champions, but also wards nearby those enemy champions. It was like a really small radius, so it wasn't totally fucking broken. But
okay.
it was still ridiculous.
So if you cast it on an enemy champion
and
who
they
was
were
standing on a ward,
yeah, you could see the ward as well.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Nice.
And was promptly fixed.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was
Balance.
promptly, but I can't remember when that was actually fixed.
Oh, wow. Usually they're on top of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing. I think this was yours. We kind of talked about it.
We already
a little
mentioned that.
I mentioned it earlier. I just wanted to talk about, I have a Ring 5 team. We've been playing a long time. It seems recently a lot of other teams are being formed in the community, which is great. And sometimes they're like, hey, let's scrim, which is awesome. So we set it up with the Benson's team, which included Frost, forwards alum, and projector, forwards contributor. And we're like, all right, we're doing this tournament style, scouting, all that thing, which introduced that whole pick ban mind game, which is just fascinating. When you want to just okay, we're analyzing their team. Who do we want to pick? Who do we want to ban? How's this going to go? Who's picking in what order?
Can I go cry in a corner now?
Yeah, George, if that makes you feel better.
What did you do to him?
Well, when we did this with George's team a couple months ago, we banned him out, and he was sad. This week we banned out. We banned Froz a lot because we did not want to play as TF, and after game 1, we did not want to play as Lux. And then it was also fun because unfortunately we didn't record our side, but I went back and I watched Benson's side, and seeing the pick ban strategy from both sides play out was really fun because they're like, oh, all right, they're going to do this, we're going to do this, they're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we both pretty much called what was going to happen beforehand. We threw one loop at them when we banned Morgana out of their. They were blue side the first game, and our support was first pick, so we banned out his very, very best champion, so we didn't have to play it. Timo's wearing a TSM hat because haberdashing got bored in the middle of my story, even though I'm intensely fascinated. That's fine. But I would just recommend, if you get a 5s team, to try tournament draft sometime. Set up a scrim, because it was really, really fun this time. As long as
And-
you both teams go into it knowing we're going to scout the shit out of you. Because that was the
Yeah.
communication breakdown with George's team, where it's like, we're just practicing ring fives, man. Like, oh, well,
Whoops.
I guess, we ban Malzahar
Yeah.
and Swain every game.
Yeah.
But I will say that taught me more than almost anything else. And since then, I no
yeah,
longer stick
right.
to 3 champions.
That's one of the things, and this kind of segues in what we were talking about earlier with Vantage. If you guys, what's the URL for that, by the way? Is it vantagesports.com/Trinity Force or T Force?
I'll get it.
GG or
You got it? Yeah, so one of the things, and this goes kind of back to what Peter was saying of going back and watching recorded games, I would always go back and I would play the games, and then whenever we would play proper, I would go back and watch the games on YouTube and see what they were thinking about certain stuff, because it's interesting to see the points of view from both sides of the equation. Like when there was a sloppy play at Baron, like they capitalized on it. I wanted to know what moment they like thought and like pulled the trigger on it and went for it, and that kind of helped when we would go back and we made our decision making from what they saw from us, and that taught us as a team vision control, keeping track of numbers, all that stuff. And yeah, I experienced the whole getting banned out thing as well from them. So it's always a fun time.
Yeah.
And if you in the future, if you want to see one where you'll see both sides, tune in Sunday to watch Badger get stomped.
Whoa.
That's
Nice.
your actual channel name? That's...
No.
No.
I could do that.
No, I know.
I should do that.
Whoa.
Let me see if
Yeah.
that's
You
open.
should change your channel name to Quit Stompin' Me.
Quit stomping me.
Senpai.
No,
Stompin'
I think
Senpai.
quit badgering in the sense is sufficient enough
All right.
instead of stomping. So
The old link was vantagesports.gg/Trinity Force.
Yep, that is
That
still
one.
the active one. And if
That
you want to
one.
see more about Vantage Sports, like I said before, you can head over to our YouTube channel, the Trinity Force Network, and we upload all of the Vantage Sports ones that we do to that channel, along with other videos, like I said. So that's that one. Okay. Yeah, I know we talked about this a little earlier, a couple episodes ago, but we have Blackhawk on the show this week for his segment, talking about watching the LCS to improve his play. So it's a really good piece, real short, sweet. I think you guys will like it, and we'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, so I think we've pretty much said all that needs to be said about that. If you haven't started checking out like LCS or the World Finals at all yet, there's so many good streams to do it from, including like the different like players' perspectives, which I know Thalim you were really talking about earlier.
Yeah, I managed to check out a couple of them, and they've been really informative. The best place to find them I've found, if you're a Reddit person and you're going to T-Force r/T-Force Network every day, another one you should subscribe to is r/lol event VODs.
Yeah,
because they're
that's a really
all
good one.
spoiler free. Like if it's a 5-game series, they're gonna have links for 5 games, so
Even
you
if
don't
it
know
doesn't
how
go
many
that
games there
long.
actually are.
Uh-huh.
You just click, and then it's got links to the Twitch. It's got the pick bands on YouTube, or it's got a link directly to the game start on YouTube. And then below
Oh, I
that, it's
love
got
it.
all the secondary streams. Everything is organized, and that's an amazing subreddit that you
yeah.
should check
For
out.
like
I don't
each
even go to the.
game.
I know LoL Esports has its own website that's supposed to be dedicated to this, but I'm like, you kind of suck, so I'm gonna go to Reddit.
Yeah,
'Cause-
every game you get the game start, you get the pick and ban start, or like in the interviews are also on there, I think too.
Yeah.
And
it's very thorough.
and in the regular season, it's got EU, it's got NA, it's got LCK, it's got LMS, it's got
China.
Sticky threads
China.
from all over the world.
China.
China. Although maybe they'll start linking all the games from Albus Nox in whatever region they're from.
Yeah, CIS.
LCL.
Well, that's two answers to the
CIS.
same question.
LCL. It is.
I don't
that's actually
know.
What it's called.
I thought it was CIS.
No, that's the European. That's the name of the region itself.
Oh.
The league is named the LCL.
That probably makes
Yeah,
more
'cause-
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Props to Albus Nox, and if you haven't been following them, that's quite the story that you should go check out on the LCS Rundown.
Yeah. Watch them just get stomped by EU.
Oh God.
Finally,
Lol.
they also beat Rocks, so
True, in a best of one.
And they
They're
also
the best of one.
they also got out
It
of
counts.
group stages, which is better than 2 NA teams.
You shut your dirty mouth.
My Azir is bad. My Rise is worse. You guessed it right. I'm G2 Perks.
I mean, the wildcard team, as a percentage, the wildcard teams had a higher get out of groups percentage than both NA and EU.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one
Whoa.
of them, too.
There were 2.
Too.
Yeah, so it's
50% is
either
better than
100
33.
It's fuck you.
Yeah.
And this is why you don't use stats on small sample
Wait,
sizes.
no, EU'd be the same. They had 2.
No. they
No.
didn't.
No, EU had Splice.
HTK.
Oh, that's right. I forget.
Splice didn't
Splice
get
is
out.
awful.
And G2 didn't get out. Only H2K got out. And H2K is still in it, and I get to see them on Saturday.
That's gonna be so sweet.
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Hey,
Oh, speaking of that, if you're in New York and you've listened to this podcast by then, Saturday night, there's go to the subreddit. We're gonna have a meetup after the games at a bar.
fun
So
stuff.
B21.
So B21. That's the only requirement.
George, you're not allowed.
Hmm.
Oh.
Get
You're also,
older.
you're also
Get a-
down
get a
south right now,
fake.
so.
To be fair, you all don't know when my 21st birthday is, so
Or do
Let me
I?
guess, it's in 3 months.
Yesterday.
I'll leave that in the dark.
I'm gonna find out now.
Secretive, I like it.
Mark it next October. We're gonna say happy 21st birthday was somewhere in the last 11 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere in the between there. Hey, you guys want to do some questions?
Yeah, let's
Yes.
do
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I've never been more excited for questions.
All right. Well, hold on to your butts. Okay. Charles J. writes and says, "Hey guys, thanks for reading my question on the podcast. I don't know if you'll remember it by the time you read this, but it was the question on your September 18th show that was about what to do as a jungler when all your lanes are feeding. One of you said that he thinks that I was just asking the question sort of for therapy, which is only partially true, but I was really curious what I can do in really bad situations as a jungler, since I usually feel lost in these sorts of situations." Fair enough. The response about warding and especially about focusing on counter ganks in the lane were what I was looking for, and I'll try to keep those in mind as I move forward. My question this time is about peeling. I mostly play Echo and build him more like a bruiser or tank. I feel that Echo is better at diving the backline, and I can't really help peel from back there. So when my carries are having trouble dealing with enemy divers or juggernauts, I'm not really sure if I should continue diving the backline or trying to stick to my carry to keep them alive. I generally feel that as an individual, at least I'm more effective if I'm diving, especially since I don't think Echo is very good at peeling. But I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. Yeah. So I know we've kind of answered this one, but for Leona in the past. So I'm curious what you guys think about it.
So Echo runs into the problem where he's not actually meant to be a tank, so he doesn't have the traditional tools that Riot gives to those types of champions for peeling.
You can do like the W zone control for the dive, but realistically speaking, you can stay back and peel if you don't have a dive buddy in the situation. Like if you don't have, I'm trying to think of like a meta top laner right now that would be really good. Like a Jace. Kennen would be a good one. Like if you don't have like a Kennen Jace kind of like Proto Belt Rumble kind of thing, where they can get into the fight with you and be like your backline buddy, their backline buddy. I would do that, but
Yeah.
that's the thing too, is if you don't have anybody to dive with, and if you're like playing a kite back team, you're definitely gonna want to drop that W like between them and your carries, and then just play zone control at that point. So at least that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Like,
Thallium, or
Yeah, I mean, that
Haber,
seems
you have
pretty
something to
accurate.
add?
mm-hmm.
I would
Go
say-
ahead, Talon.
Yeah, so Echo's big CC tool is the big W, where like he gets a slow, and then if he gets in there, it's a shield, and it's a pretty wide area, but it's also got a sizable delay, such that if someone's diving you, the fight's probably going to reposition on you before it goes off. I think it's probably best used for trying to separate their team more than anything. Sometimes it's so situational because like how hard are they diving? If it's one guy, is it two guys? If it's one person who's diving, maybe just blow him up and then move on, and then you should be free to dive their back line. But you're right in that Echo's not a traditional tank, and he's not like, oh, I'm Maokai and I have a W, or I'm Alistar and I have a Q and a W. Those are your or Leona that Haber mentioned. You have your classic peel tools, hard CC that gets the job done.
Yeah.
Echo is not that guy. Echo is disruptive, and he's got some soft CCs, and he's a huge pain in the ass, and I wouldn't mind it if he just disappeared. I mean, conditional hard CC. How about that? Because George looks like he wanted to be like, actually.
No, I just wanted to add in the other thing with that is that Echo's receiving some touches in the assassin rework as one of the minor champs, and they're cutting out his slow on passive, so that's even less. They're making him scale lower base damages, higher AP scaling, so tanks are going to be worse on him. So
probably won't see it as much.
It'll probably still work.
Oh,
it might not work nearly as well as it does now.
It was straight busted before.
The slows right now are just overkill.
Yep.
Once you get, like, the frozen mallet. Not frozen mallet.
My name is Echo. I have 4 letters in my name, and that's how many passives I have.
Like the conclusion we kind of had last time, as it applies to Leona, I think it's kind of the same with Echo and a lot of other champions as well. It really comes down to defining what your win condition as a team is. And your like win conditions are dynamic. It's not just dependent on the team composition that you choose. It's also dependent on, okay, how did the laning phase go? Are certain members of the team farther ahead than others? Are we relying on a certain person for damage? Is someone on their team far ahead and we don't even want to think about team fighting? All these things really come into it, so it really is dependent. Echo, I think, works really well as a diver if you're building in Bruzy and you're going like the Iceborne Gauntlet route. That works really well. You can stick on a target for a long time unless they have a lot of tools to get away and they're trying to chain CCU as soon as you dive in. Because if that's happening repeatedly, it's not worth it. On the other hand, let's say your laning phase is average. You're able to stay up in CS, but not a whole lot else happens. In your bottom lane, you have, let's say, like a Draven or like a Jhin. It just really goes off. A lot of your win conditions then can vary on if they survive that fight. So, like, even if you're going that tanky bruiser, you think you really need to go in and keep diving the backline. If they die in that fight, chances are that team fight is then lost because you didn't observe that win condition. And that's about it. It takes some time to kind of learn, and you have to be thinking about it throughout the game before these team fights happen. What's going to be your best scenario, diving or peeling, or is it really going to evolve throughout the team fight as threats become more imminent?
I feel like there's someone more clever. I can't quite get there yet. I feel like there's some sort of analogy between diving the deep end of the pool and the shallow end of the pool. Like, there's shallow end dives where you just break your neck and die. I'm not quite there yet.
What?
I don't know. My brain works weird ways sometimes.
well.
The problem is, like, diving too deep into the deep end seems like a good idea, but it's inverted in League than it is in
Okay,
like,
here you go.
pools.
Here you go. If you're
Tell me
jumping
afterwards.
into the shallow end of a pool, you can still get back to shore if you're needed there.
Kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe,
All right,
maybe we'll just
okay.
ask our guy to clip this part out and
Um,
pretend I'm not a
Yeah. Okay.
Leave the pregnant pauses, though, if you don't.
Please do. Anything else we want to say for this?
He finished up the question saying he was silver 1, he's now gold 2. I'd like
Yeah.
to say congrats. You beat
Yeah,
me.
congrats, man.
That's a division change.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Plat
this was a
plat
week
is in your
ago,
sight.
or sorry, a month ago. So maybe you hit plat, which was your goal by the end of the season. And if not, you got a couple more weeks. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rooting for you.
Can put all of the thanks on the Trinity Force community here. It's the T-Force train. I need to workshop that. Like, you know, any of you guys watch like the Colbert Report?
Mm-hmm.
Back on that?
Sometimes.
The Colbert bump. Like, we need that for the Trinity Force podcast whenever we get someone up in rank.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
of course we do.
I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. One last question here for this week. Dallin, you want to take it?
Sure. This is Brian B. Hi, guys. First off, I love 4 words. I'm a relatively new listener. I can't believe I'm only now finding you guys. I wouldn't be stuck in bronze for the 3rd season in a row if I'd had your expert guidance. Cringe. That was actually, it says cringe. I didn't just say
It
that.
actually says cringe in there. Confirmed.
I'm not making fun of our listeners. We love you very much. Anyway, I am contacting you for some tips about improving your synergy in bot lane. I often queue with our friends who main ADC. I am a support main. But we tend to get in silly arguments or bickering, which can affect our gameplay. Any tips for coming into the match with a supportive attitude? Thanks. I think the biggest thing, like this, everyone gets in the arguments if you're in comms, like, oh, that was a bad decision. Oh, we should have done this. Oh, we should have done that. The best thing you can possibly do is like, all right, that happened. Save it. We'll discuss it after.
That's yeah.
That is. I mean, I said this 3 times last week, and then I watched the Benson's games, and they also said, save it. We'll discuss that between games. We can't talk about champ select for game 3 and the end of game 1.
Right. I mean, like,
so-
I don't think that should be like happening like all the time, like between every game, because then, like, say like first blood happens 5 minutes,
Mhm.
People are still gonna be kind of mad, or at least being a little passive aggressive. Can be passive aggressive for the remainder of the game.
Yeah.
Or aggressive.
Aggressive. Basically, one of the things that we used to do is in games that it's like siege mode, stall out, like you're playing CLG, the enemy team's playing CLG EU style where they have to get every inhibitor down.
And you're WE.
And you're WE, and the game takes 6 days because someone's internet went out.
Fucking love that.
Rip season 2. No, but one of the things we
Love it.
actually like to do is communicate, like, because maybe you don't have as much time in between games as you need to discuss things, but like if you're in a situation where you can discuss something like really quickly on the fly, that is acceptable.
Mhm.
But I would avoid that because usually that gets really negative really quickly while you're still in said game. But if it's like a minor thing, that is totally fine.
I think forward-looking and mindfulness, like being in the moment, like being aware, okay, this is what's happening right now, and this is where we're going. Like, looking behind you is just that negative spiral. Even if, like, you messed up hardcore or your partner messed up and doesn't want to acknowledge it right now, dwelling on it in the moment is not good. You're like, okay, that happened. What's next? What do we need? Do we play passive? Do we let our tower die? Do we just rotate and move on? What's next is a better mindset to take into the next moments rather than saying, I can't believe you engaged with that many minions present or something like that.
The other thing I'm going to add in here, like on the side, is that the most important thing that will help you in this, especially in things like avoiding these arguments, is to just be able to trust in your team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be able to trust that the other person is, I don't want to say good enough, but it knows how to do what they're doing. And sometimes that's hard, especially if you're playing with a bunch of different ranks, like in a 5's team.
Right.
But if you are going to go through the harder games, that's going to have to happen. You literally can't manage another person's actions. So at some point, it's necessary to just realize that they are probably doing what they think is best. And if there's not time to discuss it, just observe that and talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know, like, silly arguments or bickering. I don't know, like, if that's...
If that's like joking, then that's
I mean, yeah.
witty banter. Like if
Like,
that's
that
if it's
could-
just banter, then
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
okay.
that could also mean,
Yeah.
like, this is going on and on and on, and you're starting to harbor a grudge against this person. I mean, it may take some serious talking, like, outside of the game. Like, okay, what's really, like, getting at this? Are we just not compatible? Are we, like, I'm aggressive, you're not? Or, like, something too competitive? Whatever it is, I don't know. Like, it may just come down to, like, if you want to play for fun, realize that it doesn't matter and don't play ranked. If you want to play to get ranked, maybe you need to find a different partner or really talk to this person if it's important. It really is kind of up in the air. Maybe this is like really small stuff that, like, you shouldn't sweat either way, and just a little conversation here or there is fine.
One thing that I'm thinking of, maybe this is me being the judgmental old man, but it might be just like
Probably.
a maturity thing. Because, like, if I look at the T-Force community and the members on the various podcasts, and even like the evolution of Ponophobia as I've been listening to the proper over the last 4 or 5 years now, he's gone from, a ragey asshole to a very chill asshole.
That's
but like, and then you
accurate.
look at someone like DeClaude, who's older. He's older than me even, but he's closer to my age than I am to Ponophobia, and he's the chillest guy that has ever been a member of this network. Like, at some point, like, you get old enough to you're like, I just don't really care anymore. I'm just going, let's go. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't tilt and I don't get mad and I don't get into arguments with my teammates, because I do that almost every week. But, like, I think we're all old enough and mature enough to go, you know what, we're saving this. We don't let it, like, we try not to let it ruin the game, and we definitely never let it ruin the night. Like, even like we lost a Baron buff and then lost a game that we definitely should have won the other night. But, like, we took our 5 minutes and we're like, all right, that happened. We're done. I think we should play it this way next time. And someone's like, well, I think we should play it this time. We had a conversation, and then we were like, all right, well, we have a plan now. And then we all moved on because, we're old, I guess, or we're mature, or we're able to process our emotions, and we don't dwell on the little things that just piss us off.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a learned skill. It's something that comes with time.
Like, I think part of it is just like realizing it's a game, too. Like, excluding Monopoly, if you're playing like a board game, are you really gonna like get into it that much with another person? Or, like,
I steal from the bank, so it's not really
Scrabble?
a problem.
Because I will get
you
into it over Scrabble.
Okay, maybe that's a bad example. Anyway, like, it's just a game. You turn off, you walk away from your computer. Nothing's really changed in the world. So, like, if the things that you get out of it aren't just having a good time with your friends or with yourself or whatever, I mean, like, what's the point?
Yes. What he said.
Okay. So I think that'll be it for us this time. No more time for questions. Any last Snyder remarks or anything you guys want to make?
Be at the bar after party on Tuesday after semis if you're in New York, or at semis. Get down on the Reddit. Let us know. I'd love to meet you.
Yeah.
Unless
Anybody
you're George.
else?
George, this is your last chance to trash talk.
Hmm.
Hey, what time are you
Make
guys
it good.
playing? I'll probably be back then to watch that.
3 p.m.
It,
I will
if
not be
we
back then
lose,
to
I
watch
will
that.
buy Badger the new Teemo skin.
Oh,
Ooh,
gosh.
Oh, snap.
That is
Oh.
okay.
That
All
is on
right.
audio.
I mean, I'm already going to roll over your bot lane, so it doesn't
Yep.
even matter.
Yeah.
All right, let's see this happen.
I don't know.
All right, guys, this has been the Four Words
Damn.
podcast. Remember to lock in that top lane Lucian, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Nice. Well done, sir.
Okay.
Stop recording.
Mm-hmm.